Here we are in Barbados doing a client's car. We're going to switch this to 425 spec. Massive amount of cooling changes on the car, just with the climate out here. So we're going to be doing carbon side parts, rear radiator, oil coolers, gearbox coolers, anything you can pretty much think of on the cooling system. We're making adjustments to the braking system on the car, gearbox control, traction control, because there's a plan that he's trying to have one of the quickest rear-wheel drive cars out here. So we're going to be doing some testing at circuit with Sullivan this week. So yeah, exciting, and oh my god, what we used to wake up to, crazy. So yeah, much difference being out in Lincolnshire in October at 5 degrees. So stay tuned, and we're gonna take you on this little journey that we've got as we go over to the workshop and start day one. Cool. Right, so we're here at Dre's garage and it's the end of day one, so I just thought I'd show you what we've done, what hardware we've changed, and general progress, because there's a lot to get done this week. The car's having a full 425 conversion, but because of the climate over here, we're going to be using a lot of components brought over from the 4R. So we're going to be running all the cooling package from the 4R, which includes side radiators, uprated front radiator. We're going to be putting gearbox coolers on it, oil coolers on it, secondary radiator in the side. New MHI spec turbochargers all on, fitted. Billet engine mounts are all done. We've got our own sump pan that's been fitted today, so that can be set tonight to glue. Motorsport drive shafts are all in. Thick wall rear 4R uprights are on the car with EN24 drive flanges. We've done quite a lot of wiring harness changes on it, so Luke's been busy installing patch harness onto the ECU. It's got all our fuel harness on, so that will then allow us to start to connect some of the supplementary components like the oil sensors, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get into doing the fuel module. So the fuel tank's currently out the car, original turbo's down there, so we're going to be disassembling the fuel tank and doing some fuel module work. The inside of the car's had a lot removed from it, so we've replaced the master cylinders, our baffled fuel fluid reservoir, got billet throttle pedal on it, and moving around to the front we've also done 80mm twin pass front radiator with all new water hoses, EN24 drive flanges again at the front, Motorsport two-piece front uprights are on the car. We'll be back in the morning to have another go at this and try and get a bit further, because we're on a fairly tight time frame to get it all done. We need to be flying out at the weekend, but the customer has got a planned test day with this car on Friday, so no pressure. Day two out in Barbados. Yesterday was a bit full on, and we were finding our feet, trying to find the workshop that we were going to be doing the build from. Didn't have all our own tools, so we're having to work with what we've got. We did take a lot of specialist tools with us in our hand luggage, but not basic stuff. So with the climate, it's needing a lot of requirements from a cooling perspective, so we're making changes to facilitating the fitting of side pods. So we're running some carbon side pods on the car, we're running a motorsport front radiator, rear radiator, we're running engine oil cooler, gearbox oil cooler, as well as all the other standard parts that we use on a 425. We're also doing driveline changes, so we're running motorsport drive shafts on this car. We're going to thick wall rear uprights, two-piece motorsport front uprights, EN24T drive flanges all round, new wheels, it's full on. The car culture out here is just incredible. Like, it's JDM mad. We're working with ESUF Racing, so the guys out there who facilitate sort of running and helping Solomon with these cars. Some really good guys out there that again are just absolutely mad on this sort of stuff. Now, from what I know, this is the only Gen 4 car that's out here in Barbados. I think there are some other stuff that's planned to maybe come across, but it's the only one out here. So whenever anyone sees it, it's just as mad as it is in the UK seeing an Atom. Seeing one out here is just like a unicorn. So yeah, really good. So day one was mainly spent, as I said, finding a feet and disassembly of the car. So most of the standard components are all off the car now, but we are starting to install some of the new stuff. Should make some good progress today, and I'll do as much as I can with the camera. I often get busy and then gets to the end of the day and realise I haven't done what I'm meant to do. So just a bit anxious that we're on a really tight time schedule and we don't have a massive amount of contingency. So the plan is that really we want this car running by end of play tomorrow. Yeah, no pressure, but no, it's good. Really looking forward to getting today done. I think once we're out, that's out of the way, we'll be in a better place. So let's get day two started. So as well as doing the 425 conversion that we're out here with all the cooling upgrades, we are addressing the standard braking system on the car as well. So we already offer a good amount of hardware for these cars that's tried and tested. So we decided to bring those out with us as well. We're going to put those onto the car. So brake upgrades that we do on these mainly consist of disassembly of the standard caliper, which facilitates the use of us being able to put some anti-knockback springs into the calipers. So we've been busy today getting the calipers done. We are switching the car over to our own two-piece brake discs. So we're going to put it on 288/24 brake discs, and we are using PFC brake pads on this car. Really good brake pad on this application car. We have gone through the braking system to include swapping the master cylinders. So we've repositioned the master cylinders and altered the ratio of those. So we've just got to, once the fluids and everything's into the car, set the pad positioning up. All the pipe work's been done, tanks on, and we're now ready to start putting some brakes on the car, hopefully tomorrow, and get some fluid into it. So we switched this car to the latest specification twin pass motorsport radiator. Runs larger front cooling duct with a bigger surface area here. Standard generation 4 cars from 2019 to around 2024 had a structure that fitted inside the frontal area for the support for the front aerofoil, and we've removed all that, put it onto the later, so it brings the brackets out wider and these drop through the front nose cone, just giving maximum airflow to the radiator. So this will be really advantageous out here in Barbados, just due to how hot the climate is. We've also put the latest generation front structure onto the car, which has this support brace into it, which stops, again, flex of the front aerofoil. So some really nice parts, which shortly are all going to be covered up, but it is for function. Bracketry that was on here would have originally gone inside like this, so we've now removed all that and cleared the front end up. So we've made some good progress today. Turbo kit's all fully on and finished now. Carbon inlets on, all the new heat shields are on, all our own bracketry to support this is done. So downpipes on, fixed. I'm just making some slight changes to the bracketry on the air accumulator pump assembly, because we just need to have additional clearance for the new charge pipe that runs through. Signature plaques on, this is all done. So the next stage really is the charge pipe work round to the intercooler, which will then seal all this off, and then we then start to look at making changes to the water route and system to allow for the new secondary radiator to go in and everything. So that's all buttoned up. Luke's busy at the front of the car, so he's been mainly concentrating on getting the new rad packaging finished, duct in, and most importantly, all this frontal area is now cleaned out. So we remove all the standard structure, so the aerofoil bolts externally. That way we've got maximum flow to the radiator. So front end's mostly done. Brakes are all on, connected. We've then got to do some cosmetic fitment of wheel arches and wiring and that. But for the most part, this is all buttoned up now. Signature two-piece discs on there. Calipers have been stripped. We've put anti-knockback springs into them. We've replaced all the dust retention seals, PFC pads, which we use on everything now. Really good, and all on two-piece uprights. So this is all left currently loose at the moment because we need to allow for the camber change to be done on the car. So we'll set that, and then wheel arches have to go on and cosmetic wiring. But for the most part, that's all buttoned up, so good productive morning. You're joining us for day 3. Yesterday was busy, to say the least. Me, Luke and Serge were on the car constantly. Trying to do it in a way that we're all working on one area of the car so we can be productive. Serge has been mainly concentrating on getting the 425 side of the build done. Luke's been busy doing some work on the left-hand side pod, which is quite comprehensive. So that includes putting gearbox cooler into it, secondary radiator, all the plumbing, everything to do that, as well as the side pods. Are some superficial work that we have to do, which is like bonding grills in and things like that. So it all does take its toll on the time, but some of the jobs just couldn't be done before we came out here, just due to the complexities that things have to be put in a certain order. So that was good. We have been doing some superficial work on the front end of the car, which includes taking the nose cone off for putting all the bigger radiator in, all the duct in, everything associated with that. So that's all buttoned away. So the plan is we're going to leave shortly, go over to Dre's workshop and it out as much as we can today. We need to be at a point where by the end of today the car's running, and in a perfect scenario be down the road and at least getting some data logs off the car, which gives us Friday and Saturday for testing before we fly back to the UK on Sunday. So there's a lot going on. Thankfully all the brakes were finished yesterday as well, so we've now got a rock solid pedal, so all that side of things is good. But it's always like the last 5% that takes 90% of the time. So we'll work today and get the driver's side pod on, which will be the intercooler side, and hopefully get it fired up. So we'll get some videos along the way as best as we can and keep you all updated. We're back at Dre's workshop. We're not used to these temperatures. It is biblically hot at 8 in the morning already, but we'll work through it. We've got some fans, so we'll be all right. So we had a good day yesterday on the car. A lot of parts were finished off, so all the front ends now back together on the car. Headlamp covers are on, so all the front radiator packs on, finished. The front aerofoil is having some cosmetic repairs done on it, so hopefully that will be back before we leave and we can put the front aerofoil on. If not, that'll be a job that we leave to Dre to put back on when we're gone, but everything else should be complete. So the goal today really is that we get the car at least fired up and heat cycled, go all the way through all the different fluids on the car. So wheel arches are all back on, brakes are completely finished on the car, bled, so that includes all the new master cylinders. We've installed knockback springs yesterday, changed the pads, changed onto our two-piece discs, replaced the fluid reservoir, so nice. Brakes are all done. Put one of our signature throttle pedals onto the car, because it seems to be most people that are really tall do tend to have fairly big feet, and it's not ideal getting caught up in the throttle and brake. Back end of the car, Sergio's been busy, and for the most part the 425 kit is on and finished. Exhaust components to go on, and there's a few small brackets and fuel lines to connect, but majority of the 425 hardware's on the car. We do need to get upper radiator on today, which again is part of the fluid system. Drive line's all complete and finished, fourth engine mounts on. We've replaced all the uprights, so it's on thick wall, uprated uprights, front and rear. Luke's been busy yesterday getting a lot of the side pack finished, cooling pack on the car. So we're now running auxiliary radiator, and we're also running a gearbox cooler. So the plan is this morning, or at least by lunch, this is all finished. A lot of the mock-up for the new carbon sideboards was completed, and all the grills were fitted yesterday. So the cosmetic side of it's the last part, but they should just drop on nicely. So we're going to concentrate this morning on this side of the car, and then follow on to doing install of the side pod on the right hand side and get the oil cooler in. At least then we can prime the engine and be in a good place, and we'll see where we are by lunch. But no, it's going okay. Like, we've not hit any problems yet, so fingers crossed. A good productive day, and let's see if we can't get this running before we go home.
So I'm just prepping the side pods. This one's obviously the driver's side, which will hold the engine oil cooler, and then the extended for our intercooler. And we have to drill the side of the tub, and then the front edge gets bolted to the front of the tub, and then the back edge gets bolted to the back of the frame on here, and then there'll be a grill that goes in the back as well.
Oh, brilliant. So
down there.
You always have to come at the worst time, but yeah, we're just gonna, when we got here, the wheel arch had come away from the brackets, so they're basically mastic sealed into position, and running them on curbs and things and catching them can cause them to come loose. So makes sense that while we're here we sort this out, because the last thing I want is a wheel arch coming loose on the test day tomorrow. So yeah, great timing for a video. Thanks, Serge. Lunchtime, and we haven't stopped. Doesn't probably look like we've done a lot since the earlier video we put, but the cooling system for the most part's now finished, all plumbed up and everything. Gearbox coolers all in and plumbed. Charge pipe works in, and we're just finalising the fuel lines up to the fuel filter. So we're real close on fuel system now, maybe about another hour away in this part of the car. Luke's been busy over this side, and all the larger 4R spec intercoolers now in, charge pipes in, all the bracketry's gone into the car, oil coolers on, plumbed and connected, ducting's on and finished. Some final fit and finish to do on the side pod, which we're working, but we typically won't put the side pods on until the car's fired, just to make sure there's no leaks or anything, because once this is sealed off, it's really quite awkward to get at. There's grills that are pop riveted in over the top of this, so we will have the car running before they're on. But yeah, really productive day. The only thing that's different, or one of the things that's going to be different for us, is the octane of the fuel out here. So we're used to running on V-Power or equivalent, so 98, 99 octane. Out here, the highest you can get, or what's premium's 93. So the guys out in Barbados run race gas ultra, so this is mixed with the fuel to bring the octane level up, and dependent on how concentrated it is where we go. So going to be a little bit of refining on the blend that we use, and then obviously once that map's done, then the fuel needs to be on that. We don't run flex fuel on this car, or currently we don't. So yeah, we are going to have to run it on a blend mix to bring the octane up, but that's all stuff that we can do on the road. So the plan is fire the car today, fit and finish into the afternoon, and yeah, on the road for some data logs this afternoon before we go Bushy Park apparently tomorrow for testing. So yeah, no room for error on this one, that's for sure, because we got flights to catch at the weekend, so stay tuned. Fluids going in. Feels like we'll looks like it's 0-20 that we're putting in it with how hot it is. I think we definitely we don't need to pre-warm the engine over here. I think it's 30-degree oil going in. Yeah, engine oil in, just got gearbox oil to top off, and we've got top radiator to install and bleed the cooling system, but not far off a start now. Day 4, and yesterday was a baptism of fire, to say the least. So we again worked flat out on the car. Everyone was busy doing all their different jobs on each point, and finally got the car done around 4 o'clock, to the point where we could actually fire it and heat cycle it. We wanted to get a quick log off the car before the end of the day, so gave a car a run around there, you know, around the local block as we speak. But it was getting to the point where there's a lot of traffic on the roads, and the roads out here, although it's super hot, they're just dusty and sandy and really, really hard to put any amount of power down. Map 1 just spins up throughout, you know, the whole RPM range. Doesn't matter if you try and blend into it, you just can't get traction. Map 2 and Map 3 just get worse. So the customer's booked a Bushy Park, which is one of 2 local race circuits. So we've got a slot there today from 3 until 5 to actually try the car properly. So let's try and put it through its paces and see what we can do traction wise. But all in all, no problem. So good day. So we're going through the snag list today of finishing jobs. So we've made a lot of changes with hardware on the car. So we've changed uprights, which has thrown the alignment out of spec. So the plan is this morning we're going to string the car, get the car pointing in the right direction, lock wire a few components off, and due to the fuel additive and the fuel that we're running over here, it has leaned the car out more than what we'd normally see in UK fuel. So there's some calibration requirements that we're going to do, but for the most part we're hoping it should be straightforward, just last finishing off jobs. The customer's booked Bushy Park at 2 o'clock this afternoon, so we've got a 2-hour slot to get some testing done. Out here the roads are either so busy or just traction limited that it's near impossible to try and get a pull out of the car to get a good data log off it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, get the last session done today, and more importantly, we've got to get the sticker pack on. So I'm not quite sure who's going to be doing that, but it won't be me. Yeah, so get the stickers on, then it'll be definitely faster. So yeah, watch this space. Let's try and get a good morning on the car. Slow search, what are you up to?
Just giving a little bit extra width on the back of the car, so getting the upright fully out on all the sphericals, and then we're gonna get it all ready for last geo tweaks. It's just normally when you give a little bit more camber on the top side, you get a little bit of clearance issues with the top frame and the chassis that we want to avoid. On the standard setup, when you start giving more focus track camber settings on it, you end up, in most of the track width that we've seen, you end up having not much compliance on between the chassis and the mudguard bracket. So because all the adjustability that this car gives, you can actually play with the track width and camber and ride height and everything is as you wish. Yeah.
So we're going to get that done and then string it and do the toe adjustment. Yeah?
That's it. That's it.
So just a bit of multitasking. Can't get my words out. Multitasking today. Luke's busy stringing the car without me moving the steering wheel hopefully too much, and we're just trying to troubleshoot an issue with the launch control system on the car. So when we arrived, the car was originally a manual car, and this is how the project started. A customer bought a sequential gearbox for it, but due to the factory ECU being locked and stuff, wasn't able to configure it. So we sent one of our control units out, and we've been given remote support to get the gearbox function working. We suspect because it's gone over using some of the manual wiring harness over the top of the sequential conversion, It's probably some of the wiring pins not assigned correctly, so we're just trying to sort that. Gearbox function all works perfect, but the launch control currently doesn't, so bit of head scratching, and we're going to try and sort this out.
Geo feels better already.
Yeah, well, at least the wheel's not pointing at North Korea anymore.
Yeah.
That's spicy. It's loads better. Not moving around. Knock control's good. Charge temps are like a little bit like in the high 30s, but like ambient's 34. Just wants a little bit out the open loop map. It's just a little bit high on boost, but. Go down on the cowl. Yeah. Mate, it's spicy on high boost down there. Was it? So we're finally here, car completed. What an hectic few days that's been. Can't thank the lads enough for everything that they've done in getting the car done. There's no way I could have done this on my own, so it's massive team effort. Hospitality from the guys here at ESUF Racing, Carlos, Andre, Suleiman, couldn't have been, you know, more helpful in supplying everything that we needed that we couldn't bring out with us. But the end result's absolutely amazing. Like a one-off car out in Barbados green is, you know, it's a wow factor in itself. But from the short runs that we've done on the road, it's beyond fast, it's ballistic. So thankfully Luke's been driving it and I've just been able to hold on to the laptop. But yeah, great effort. Would love to come back again without a doubt. Just need to get some more atoms out into Barbados. A little bit of a limited market, but yeah, it's all gone really, really well. So we're going to now go to Bushy Park in a couple of hours, do the handover with the customer, let him have a few, you know, couple of hours track time with it where we can keep our eye on the car, and then from there we're done and going to travel back to the UK and get back to some more atoms. But I think the weather's going to be a bit not quite so nice as what it is out here. So is there anything you guys want to say, or no?
Been definitely an experience.
Yeah, it's one to remember.
Awesome. So thank you. Oh, so he's having a run now. No, he's got it spiced up a bit.
good.
You like it?
Yeah, it's proper, man. It's fast. A lot quicker than before.
Yeah, that's good. When you are in the middle of the track, in the middle of the Atlantic in Barbados, and you suddenly find what it looks like a 4T,